Right, guys, 25th of July, Thursday, the 25th of July, and this is the Man United Agenda. Welcome, everybody. And especially, let me just introduce first the king of the Man United Agenda. It is Solo. How you doing, Solo? He's saying love and a heart, or as Bartime would say, what's that do? The CPR. Is that CPR to the heart?
Oh, yeah. That's him restarting someone's heart, isn't
it? First aid course. All right. Okay. Let's start the show. Got a lot to go through today. So, guys, make sure you hang around. We're going to go through some transfer gossip, some realistic stuff, some unrealistic stuff. I'm going to be hoping to create an argument between Mr. B and Bath Time, make it so they disagree. And also at the end of the show, we're going to do another versus battle. So hang around for that as well. So yeah, action-packed show tonight. I want to say hi to Peter out. I want to say hi. He's saying I'll take Denzel Washington over Wan-Bissaka. I want to say hi to Andrew Williams, who's got a question for the panel. Get your question in. I'm going to just introduce and say hello, good evening to Mr. B with that lovely plants setting you got there, man. Looks like David Bellamy in your garden.
It's nothing to do with me, mate. If it was down to me, I wouldn't have a plant in the house, mate. I wouldn't even have grass in the garden. I'd have it all patioed over. This is all down to the missus, mate.
It's beautiful though.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a matter of opinion, mate. You're not the one who has to water them.
Okay. You can see I've got like these lights that they help them to grow, because obviously we're indoors, the sun doesn't always cover the light in there, but yeah, it's tough to maintain the plants, and they're looking really beautiful. So big up to your green fingers in the house. Bath Time, you love plants. You were like complimenting us on our house plants, but you live in the countryside, so you don't no need for that, is there?
No, I'm federal. Like, I live in the Shire, so there's grass everywhere. You love it, Mr. B. I think it's really nice to have plants inside a house when you live in a city. Like, I struggled living in cities without the greenery, but I'm essentially like a bumpkin.
Not a plant person at all. Just not a plant person at all.
But you're a city boy, Mr. B, aren't you? You've always lived in the city.
Yeah.
Could you ever live in the countryside?
No.
Why not?
I don't even think I could live outside of London, to be fair.
What would you miss if you lived outside of London? What?
The pace. I mean, where I live is nice and quiet, but to know that I'm still in London I don't know. I don't think I could live outside of London. I'm too slow.
Bath Time, you've lived in the city and in the country. Give us some good positive things about living in the country.
All right. Well, our top story is that I think that I like the space of living in the countryside. I like the fact you can make more noise than you can in a city, and people aren't going to start complaining. There's less crime. It's easier to drive. But I agree with Mr. B that London's a very special place because it's so aggressive, and I really enjoy it. I like that vibe to it. But when you go to places like, for example, Rome, they're so slow. Like Spanish cities as well are so. Even the cash machines are slow. Like in London, it just spits it at you and you run away. Like it takes ages everywhere else. But I like the countryside.
Okay, let's just go through a few comments and a few more greetings. So, a question for the panels and Andrew, and he's saying here, justify to me why Luke Shaw isn't going on tour. We're going to come back to that. We will try and tackle that one. As you said, Adab is saying he'd take George Washington over Wan-Bissaka. Good evening, lads and legends. He's saying here. That's from Simon Warner. Hope you're doing well, Simon. A big up to Bart, serious fan as well. Has Luke accumulated annual leave while he's been on sick again? That's from Andrew Williams, no doubt, as well. What else we got here? Andrew's saying he lived in Ammerford, a country town, for 2 years. And we read there, he never got laid. Solo saying London isn't aggressive. Okay. And I love London. Great energy, says Andrew Williams. And this is so true from Bart. London is so expensive to live in, isn't it? No doubt about it. But it seems like, oh, here we go. Bart saying Liverpool's a good city as well. He would say that because he's a Liverpool fan. Okay. All right. We're ready for this. All right. So the first thing I want to discuss, guys, and obviously this news is sort of coming got these sort of pictures or any script to go from. But the first thing is West Ham have agreed a club plus player deal for Mazraoui. Mazraoui. And this is someone we were interested in. So West Ham have sort of jumped us to get the guy. But there's more to it than that, Mr. B, isn't it? About
So Wan-Bissaka's turned down West Ham.
Right.
I'm not sure why. I think he's got ideas above his station. I think West Ham would be the perfect team for him. That's my opinion. I'm not his agent. If I was, I'd be pushing him to go to West Ham. It seems now West Ham has obviously turned their attention to Mazraoui, who we see as an upgrade, or we saw as an upgrade to Wan-Bissaka. What's kind of irked me is the price is 15 million plus 4.4 in add-ons. You know, now if you're looking at that as a price for somebody a proper upgrade, then that's great. But we can't shift Wan-Bissaka. Now, obviously, our thumbnails got Dumfries on. It's now come. I don't know where this has come from. Now that there may well be a swap deal on the cards. Bath time. I know you're not a fan of swap deals. You don't think that they're any good, or they never work. So I'll get your opinion on that as well. But is Dumfries? I saw him I watched him in the Euros. I'm just all right. Is he an upgrade on Wan-Bissaka? Somebody talk to me, man. Is he an upgrade on Wan-Bissaka?
He's different, and I think that's the exciting thing is that at the moment, as we discussed last night with Xerxes and Yoro, we're just getting better players for the same system. But Dumfries he's more of a wing back than anything. And so is Frimpong. They're not traditional right backs. They're there to provide the width and be the outlet on the right hand side. And they're sort of like their key capabilities, I suppose, are an engine, the ability to sort of make the assist pass or the pass before the assist, like around the penalty box. And none of these are things that we don't really see from Delo or from Wan-Bissaka. And I think it changes the way that we play. So I'm really excited. And I mean, I do have some sympathy with Wan-Bissaka. You're saying that you would advise him to go to West Ham. We've just had a chat about London, and maybe Wan-Bissaka doesn't like London anymore. But I think it's really good that he wants to go to Italy and go to Inter. Sometimes you have to, if a player's got two choices between going to West Ham or going to Inter, and they want to go to Inter, Wan-Bissaka hasn't caused too many problems at the club. I think we should try and facilitate him to get the transfer that he wants. And then that helps us in the future with attracting other players. They know that we're not going to be dickheads about forcing people to go to places they don't want to. So I'd really like to see Aaron Wan-Bissaka follow. Was it Ashley Young that went to Inter? And Damian as well?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
wasn't Damian keeping? You've mentioned that. Wasn't he keeping Frimpong out of the team?
Not Frimpong. Dumfries.
Not Frimpong. Dumfries. Wasn't he?
No, he was playing in the back three, wasn't he? He's sort of as a right back, Damian, but he was playing in the back three for Inter when I saw them in the Champions League and things. So Dumfries, I don't think he was keeping them out. They were playing in different positions.
Okay.
Dumfries essentially played as a winger for Inter.
Yeah, but all right.
Let's go to the comments, guys. Let's see what the comments are saying about all this, because this is, sensitive for us because we love Wan-Bissaka. West Ham are building quite a portfolio of Ajax players with Kudus, Alvarez, Mazraoui, and except that their first two are really good. Mazraoui has a bad injury.
Monday. His name is Mazraoui. Mazraoui.
What did I say? Mazraoui.
It's different.
What do I call it? I call him Mad. I call him Mad for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Will that help?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right,
that's fine.
Okay, Wan-Bissaka wants to go to Inter, says Andrew Williams. That's what he's heard anyway. We asked what's the difference is there much difference between Wan-Bissaka and Dumfries? Bilal says yes. He's not an upgrade on Wan-Bissaka. Dumfries isn't, says Solo.
Oh, Solo. You're just... I'm glad you're not here anymore. You're so negative. No, not really. I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's true though. You can't say anything like London's an aggressive city. No, it's not. Like every time disagreeing. Ban him. Time him out, Emma.
Andy was saying, I think he can play centre back as well. Talk about Dumfries. The reason I think he says that is because he's jumped. I saw him set pieces against England, and he's out jumping everyone for headers. So
it's a big boy, isn't he?
Do you think it's a height thing? Do you think it's a height thing?
I think it's because he was winning headers in set pieces. I think that's the reason people think he make a good centre back.
It's interesting because Frimpong is 5'7", and I don't think you can have Martinez and Frimpong in a back four block. How can you get away with 2 5'7" players? So if it's choice between them, I'd go for Dumfries because I think he looks the more likely to transition quicker to the Premier League with the pace and the height and the power and things. But I suspect he's a better athlete than Wan-Bissaka is.
Okay, it's interesting that.
And he'll run backwards.
What's the best swap deal that ever worked? And he's saying Zlatan and Eto'o. Remember from Barca to Inter, and Eto'o won the treble with Barca, I think, and then went and won the treble with Inter the following year or something like that. So won 2 Champions Leagues in a row, and Zlatan didn't. Any other swap deals that worked out that you can recall, guys? Well, we'll think about it. Let's go to the comments. Shabala is better than Dumfries, in my opinion, as Andrew. We talked about him yesterday, didn't we? Denzel is better, particularly on the ball. The only issue is his age. I don't know. Was he 27 or something?
He's a year older than Wan-Bissaka.
Okay. Agile Beast, how you doing? He should have been right back of the tournament along with Carvalho from Spain. I thought them really well. What else is saying here? Bart saying Wan-Bissaka in Italy would be interesting as he's not the most technically sound player. Interesting. Swap deal Sanchez to Arsenal and Mkhitaryan went the other way. Italian league may suit Wan-Bissaka a bit slower as well, says Simon. And Paul Ince played for Inter, didn't he? Of course. Talking about fullbacks, Theo Hernandez or Mendes would be ideal at left back. We got to watch them in the
Theo Hernandez. That's the French boy. That's the French guy, yeah.
Oh,
I like him.
Yeah. What do you like about him, Mr. B?
He's fast. I like fast. I like pacey players, and he's quick, man.
Tyrone saying here, of course, London's aggressive. People are rude as well. Can't wait to leave. I thought he moved out already, Tyrone. I'm glad Denzel's fluent in Dutch, as United can save money on his weekly Dutch classes. As Euro is currently learning the language as well. Is everyone learning Dutch right now at United? I want to say hi to Nick Nack. Said Chalobah was a big part of the reason Chelsea finished the season strongly last season as well. So there you go. The worst swap deal, it says here, was Mkhitaryan and Sanchez for us, wasn't it? That wasn't too.
Well, what happened to Mkhitaryan was a disgrace. It was an absolute disgrace. Well, he went to Arsenal, and Arsenal played Chelsea in the Europa Cup final, I think, or Europa League final. But it was in Baku, and because of Mkhitaryan's nationality, he wasn't allowed to go to the game.
Oh, wow.
It was an absolute disgrace. Typical
disgrace.
Nonsense.
It's a disgrace.
It is a disgrace. That's one of the worst things that's happened in football, like in the last couple of years, in my opinion. That like FIFA put a tournament in a country that would ban a player from going to it. Absolutely appalling.
We do better say Manchester isn't serving itself well at the moment either. And obviously the Olympics is starting as well. People are talking about that. Let's get on. All right, so that was about Dumfries. Just quickly, would you guys be happy if we went in for him and the swap deal went through? Would you guys enjoy that? Would that give us a new dynamic on the right hand side?
I just want players bought. If that's who they decide that they want, I know we're looking for a right back. Obviously, we're looking for a right back. But the fact that obviously by half time you said it, one's 5'7" and the other one's nearly 6 foot or over 6 foot. What are they actually looking for? Are they just looking for somebody that they can get now? This is the part of it that I'm a bit wary of. All right, the names are the same names that we've been linked with Dumfries for about 3 years, I'm sure.
And Frimpong.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the advantage to Frimpong is he's homegrown though. Like, and he's lived in Manchester. Like, he was trained by City. I believe he might have played for Celtic for a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So he's going to adapt to the culture in the league, you'd think, without any problems. But I think what it is, Mr. B, is that we're looking for something different from the right-hand side now. Like, and that's what's interesting to me, because both these players are players that are going to occupy the wide attacking area. Like, that's where they play their football.
Stretching the pitch.
Yeah. So, but what that means is that our right winger isn't going to be out on the touchline. He's going to be like much nearer the goal if we get one of these players in. So I think that's really interesting, because I'm a fan of Delo and he had a brilliant season, but I do think he needs competition.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just quickly, well, because I want to touch on something else. So we were talking about Dumfries, and we're talking about the Maz, Rock and Maz going from Bayern Munich to West Ham. So there's two right backs we're interested in. The third one, as we just mentioned here, Frimpong, who's obviously homegrown, so that would help a lot. So Andrew's asking the question: Frimpong is so talented, but can you fit him in? Because when I watched him for Leverkusen, Mr. B, he was like a right winger. He seemed to be involved in everything in the final third. A good outlet, really pacey, lots of assists and lots of dynamic movements and pace in the final third. So, is that a player that would interest you, or can he play in the back four? Would he be sort of seen playing in the right wing, a conventional right wing role? I don't know. It's hard to say.
I want a defender. If he's come to play as a right back, he needs to have some defensive qualities. And obviously, him playing in that Leverkusen formation, I'm not sure how defensive he was.
Sorry, Mr. B, I want to stop you there. The reason I'm saying that is because there's a report here that Frimpong's been offered to Man United.
Okay, well, I'll change my mind now. Then I think he's fantastic. I think he's great. I think he'll be the perfect fit. So, where's that come from on Monday? Then, what sort of?
So I'm reading it here. It's HITC Football. That's the link where it's coming from, and it just says here Frimpong's been offered to Man United. Obviously, didn't source this. This has come from Bath Time, so unless he is strained to explain this source or this information, but yeah, there's no smoke without fire, is there? So yeah,
I saw it on news aggregation websites on Twitter when I was checking to see if we were doing a show or not. So I posted it in. My concern, right, with Frimpong is what Simon Warner has said. I can't get past the fact that you can't have two players under 5'8" in your back four. And Frimpong, even though he might play as an attacker in possession, he's going to have to go at right back in the block. And I think that this is one of the real problems that we have with Martinez, is because of his height. It means that everyone else in that back four needs to be 6 foot, 6'1" minimum. So I think it completely rules Frimpong out for me. We're going to be too weak.
When we look at Arsenal now, and Arsenal just made a signing, haven't they? The California guy at left back, but they've got seems like centre backs throughout the back four, and they had the best defensive record last season. And there's talk that they can break Chelsea's record of conceding minimum goals. But then you look at Man City as well, and their back four. You've got Ake plays centre back, and the other Croatian dude. And on the other side, you've got a Kanji as well, and Carl Walker, who obviously can play centre back as well. He's proved. And so, is that the way forward now? Playing these big big defenders all across the back four or the back defensive line.
Yeah, I think so, because they're teams that expect to have a huge amount of the ball. So the two main things they're weak to are transitions and set pieces. So having big, powerful men at the back who can win 1v1 duels, who can defend out wide, who can clear their lines, who can attack a football with their head, that's going to eliminate most of the goals that they concede. But they also have players like Rice and Rodri, who are some of the best midfielders in the world. So that might be the way to go forward. But you need, to have those sort of players in your team. You need lots of other elements all working together.
All right, I'm going to bring in the element of the comments and see what they've got to say about all this. So Nick Nack saying, "In Candelo not do a job at right back, far from the weakest link last season." We've got Andrew saying he can play right wing because Frimpong is referring to. He played really good last season. Bart saying here, Tyrone, if United want to sign an English right winger, then Rishi Sunak is available. Very good. I like that. That's funny. I think Frimpong would work really well with all of our wide players who like to cut in. He can overlap them. There you go. Conventional guy.
Sort of what bath time was talking about there, isn't it?
That's from Agile Beast. Nick Nack, I'd have to agree. We should be going for a left back to take Shaw's spot. So Tyrone mentioned earlier that we should be talking about right backs. We should be dealing with the left back situation because I've read a comment from him saying Shaw is only available for England and not for us, which he's disappointed about. So left back should be a priority for him. Nick Nack saying here, interesting about bringing Calafiori. I wish they could be Calafiori. Is where, sorry, I'll start again. An interesting thing about Calafiori is where do Arsenal play him? Is Gabriel on his bike? Okay, asking questions about Arsenal.
Get him in before Saliba goes to Real Madrid next season, innit?
Yeah. Mr. B, another compliment about your lovely array of plants there. That's from We Deserve Better.
Thank you very much.
And Andrew Williams is saying here, Archive played centre-back for Spurs twice already this summer. I don't know who's that. Hotel California. Wicked. All right, you ready for the next story, guys?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Are you ready, Bath Time? Are you excited?
Sorry, bath time. Sorry, just something that you were talking about, our defenders being over 6 foot. I did see something about anyway, look, it'll come. It's all right, it'll come.
If you've got
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do this one next. Do that one next on Monday.
Oh, sorry.
Next one. The other one. Do the other one.
Okay.
That's the one.
Here we go, guys. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I think this one will take up a lot of time because I think there'll be a lot of talking points from this. So I'm going to read this once because my eyes are bad. But hear this, guys. Hear this. Tell me what you think about this. So insiders at the club, Carrington training ground, believe there could be a surprise new role for Argentine Martinez at times next season. At times, remember that. As a midfield enforcer and emergency left back. So they're saying he could play in a couple of positions apart from centre back. Despite signing highly rated 18-year-old Yuri from Lille, United are still pursuing a deal for Man United for Bayern Munich's centre back star De Ligt. And they also retain an interest in Everton's Gerard Braithwaite. We're going to come on to that. After having 2 bids turned down by the cash-strapped Toffees, who are looking to bank at least 70 million if they want to sell the 22-year-old. With the Swedish international Lindelof likely to leave during the window, and youngster Willie, who's already been sold to La Liga side Villarreal, United are dramatically reshaping their defence, which is true. With only Harry Maguire likely to survive at Old Trafford as one of the pre-Eric Ten Hag old guard, United's back line, is certain to have a fresh new look. But it is the role of World Cup winner, don't forget he's a World Cup winner and a Copa America winner as well. It's the role of Martinez that could give Ten Hag a myriad of different options. Did I say that right?
Near enough, myriad
of different options. I thought that's very good.
It's good, yeah.
Different option. Once the new campaign starts, if United can push a deal over the line for De Ligt as a youthful partnership with the 24-year-old Dutchman and Euro, would be an exciting prospect. Euro isn't expected to play every game, and Ten Hag's keen not to overexpose the teenager in his first season in the Premier League. But when he does play, potentially alongside De Ligt, it would enable Martinez to move into the defensive midfield role alongside Kobe, who could occupy a more advanced position than the gritty South American. So, talking points here, is this valid that we could play Martinez, especially if we get De Ligt in, we could play Martinez in midfield and then also at left back as well to cover the issue that Tyrone brought up about Shaw, injuries and all that. Do we see Martinez having the ability to play in those 2 positions, and what will he bring to those positions if he was to be put there? And how realistic is it? So many questions from this one. I'm going to get to the comments. I want you, Bath Time and Mr. B, to discuss.
It's an absolute no-go.
Yeah.
For several reasons. The first reason is that about 2 years ago, Ten Hag gave an interview where he explained why Martinez couldn't play central midfield. And it's because he doesn't have the running power. And if he didn't have the running power in the Dutch league to play central midfield, there's not a chance he has it in the Premier League. And that's just the first of many reasons why you'd be out of your mind to play Martinez as a first choice, like defensive midfielder.
All right. What about the left back? There's two positions. The defensive midfielder, you're saying he hasn't got the running power, but you're referring to a quote from our manager a couple of years ago that said he hasn't got the running power. What about left back? Could you see him filling in a position there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the thing is, right, is that when you look at Martinez's strengths, he has the two that stand out. One is his ability to break lines with passing. I think everyone can agree with that. And the other one is that he's a very good box defender. Like in a low block, tight to his man, he's fantastic, right? Those are his strengths. I think that if you move him to left back, what you're doing is, if you were to have, let's say we got Dumfries in, right, and we have Martinez left back, Euro and De Ligt as the centre backs, and Dumfries as the right back. Out of possession, it's going to be those three as three centre backs, essentially. And I think that that's perfectly fine. But because Martinez isn't a good runner and he has short legs, he's not going to be as effective out on the left because he's just not able to match his gait to players. Like if you think of someone like Cody Gakpo, the long legs, right? Martinez has got to stretch those little legs of his all the way out. He isn't able to sort of like tippy toe and take the ball off them. I think it neutralizes like a lot of what he's good at, but he'd be much better as a left back than he would as a CDM, which is just Martinez as a CDM is an absolute no-go.
Mr. B, talk about the two positions. What can you see Martinez playing in those positions with his technical ability? And his criticism when he hasn't got the legs to play. He plays centre back. He's having to chase people down in wide corners and in the channels and show some pace from time to time, read the game. Is that a false a myth there that he hasn't got legs?
I would like to think that he does have the ability to play there. To a certain extent, I do agree with Bath time. But he said it was in an emergency. It wasn't necessarily that he could play. He would play there regularly for the season. I'm just not sure he has the... There's a reason why he plays at centre-back. Those are his attributes. If his attributes were for a central midfielder, he would already be playing there. He would have already been given the opportunity to have played there. Well, maybe not last season because he wasn't there for quite a bit of it. But I wouldn't like to be moving him. Everybody said he's one of the... I mean, look, they just won the Copper. He played every game. Pep, who, as much as I don't like, just because he's at Man City, he said that he's one of the top 5 centre backs in the world. So who am I to disagree with Pep? So the fact that they would be moving him out, then whoever we have at the back would have to be ahead of him at that level. And I don't believe we got anybody in the team who is. So I wouldn't be moving him out of fear, more than maybe the fact that he can't play there. But who do we replace him with at the back? So if he's in the squad...
What they said in the article is that if we get De Ligt and we got Euro in, the times that Euro needs to play, they reckon that he'll be partnering De Ligt. So where does Martinez play? Do you drop the Martinez, or do you think it's a good opportunity to play him in a different position? Bath Times scrapped it, said he can't play in midfield based on what Ten Hag said. But I think
he doesn't have to move him. He doesn't have to move him on Monday. Competition is good.
Okay.
If De Ligt comes in and plays centre back and plays better than Martinez, then he plays. I don't, unless we're buying a player who we know from seeing them that can play or just how they've played, like the left back from Fenerbahce, who everybody knows can play left and right. There's no problem with that. But the fact now that we're making up a position for Martinez, I don't think it's something that we should be going. There should be an
But
avenue
the
that we
position
should
he's
be
played
going down.
before. He's played in midfield before.
Yeah, but how often has he played there?
Well, can I go to the comments? And Ian Williams got a lot to say about this because he has been chirping up about him playing there. I remember in many shows last year, he was saying he should be playing there. And he's saying here, I've said this since he signed, he could be a CDM for me. And he's saying again here, it's a disgrace he's never been tried in there before. So he believes he's got.
He has been, though. He's played CDM for Ajax as an experiment, and he lacked the physicality needed to play in a Ten Hag midfield. And to be honest, so does pretty much every midfielder that we've tried to play in there. But he has been tried there. And it's also like, stop putting defenders in the midfield. We put midfielders at right back like Pogba. We don't put right backs and defenders into the midfield. There's too much.
Pep would disagree.
Well, it took him about 5 years to get Stones ready to move him into midfield. And Joe Cancelo is one of the few people that is essentially a midfielder. But when you look at Martinez, he's got to learn how to receive the ball at different angles and all these things. I think it's silly to take someone who's an expert in their position and hope that they're competent in a new position.
Can I suggest that Alex Ferguson put Ronnie Johnson, Henning Berg, and Phil Neville in midfield?
Yeah, but they were
Adam
players. But they were
Alan
utility
Smith.
players, and everybody knew them. Yeah, you're right about Alan Smith. To be fair, but they were utility players.
So if we get deep in the season and we're struggling for players and we have to play, there's no other midfielder. It's a possibility that
Yes,
would be
yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
in that
right.
case,
So
that's fine.
But we're not saying for a sure shot that we must do that. It's a possibility.
That's what the article is saying.
Okay. Let's go back to the comments. So we do better saying here, what are we doing here? We need depth and consistency. This is not how we get it by rotating these players or asking Martinez to play in other positions he's not familiar with so much. Richard Hawkins, how are you doing? We need a squad, but Man United have always evolved. Byron saying here, I'd be worried seeing Martinez in midfield and left back. He's technically good enough, but he hasn't got the legs, as Bathtime was saying earlier. Nick Knack is saying Martinez is good in defence. Why would you play in midfield? Makes no sense. It's just an option, maybe. Tyron saying this has to be false news. The square pegs, round holes thing is a thing of the past. We've got Andrew again saying games played in his head, so it's not an issue about legs necessarily. I think that's what you're trying to say. We're better saying here. So more square pegs and round holes, as Tyron was saying. Let's just write off the whole season now and be done with it. Oh dear. If Martinez was a good centre midfielder, United and Argentina would have done it already, Andrew. But perhaps you think he could be our new Danny Blind. Talk about Danny Blind. Left-footed, played centre-back, played left-back, played the centre midfield as well. What's the difference between him playing there and someone like Martinez?
Unfortunately, Monday, the second part of the quote that Ten Hag gave was that Daley Blind also doesn't have the legs to play in midfield.
Why did you give us the whole quote?
Because I didn't know that Daley Blind was going to come out. Shout out to Tyrone. Big up the Palmo boys.
I want to say big up to Richard Hawkins because he's saying he started watching Bill Folks, Nobby Styles, but now watch Bruno and Kobe. Guys, you are over-analysing it. He's saying there, we are Manchester United. Nick Knack is saying here, to be fair, defence wasn't the problem last season, despite conceding a ton of chances almost every game. Tyrone saying here, against lesser teams, he could be tried there, but top teams, we win the midfield battle against us. Top teams will win the midfield battle against us. He ain't winning any headers in there either. And what else we got here? What else? There's loads of comments coming. Keep them coming, guys. Let me just touch on this one from Emma. How you doing, Emma? She's saying, pretty sure he came to Ajax as a midfielder or something. And here we go. Richard saying here, Martinez cannot play CDM. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, don't call people idiots, Richard. Like, just let them be idiots if you think they are. But that's
we let out our frustrations. I mean, it's the only safe place to do it.
No, we don't talk to people like that.
I know. But anyway, Danny Blind plays for Girona now. Oh, wow. Helped them to get third in the league. Wow. Good player. I like his. He's a very intelligent player. Is that the best father and son duo? Or is it up there, would be considered best father and son player? His dad won the Champions League.
Better than bloody Yordi.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, Yordi and Johan. Yeah, okay. All right, so are we done with that? So we're just saying here, what we say, I agree with you, all your comments there. Bath Time saying it's not going to happen, but there's a possibility that if we're stretched, maybe it could. Mr. B, is that right?
Yeah. If we're really stretched, there's a duo for you.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I didn't really watch his dad play though. But then he trumps it. Yeah, he trumps it for sure. And the Chiesas as well.
Maldini over the Chiesas.
Okay, fair enough. I don't see his dad play. I'm not sure how good a player his dad
was. It's Maldini. He's the best. I think he's the best defender of all time. I haven't seen Beckenbauer, but I have seen Maguire, and Maldini's better. But
if Maguire had a son, yeah, they'd be in the.
I bet it would hurt his wife when she was born with the size of that head.
Okay. Evan's saying I just don't feel it's right to put him in midfield. Okay, fair enough.
What I want you to know, what I want to know from you is that you say, could we use Martinez there in a pinch? Do you think when we do stuff like that, and you look at Fletcher, Maxi Odiele, Toby Collier, whatever they're called, that shouldn't those players be tried instead of shoehorning Martinez into a midfield position?
Interesting that, because I mean he brought in Willie when we were really stretched last year, didn't he? And we were saying, well, who else could play there? But he brought in Willie, and he had a couple of good games, and it was a good experience for him. So I think we're getting at the stage now. It's about trust, isn't it? I think it's down to individual trust of what the manager wants to win every game. He's under pressure. And we know we talked about his minimum expectations yesterday. That was quite good stuff. But I think it's about individuals and about who you can trust. He trusted Willie to do it when he could have brought maybe someone else in. But
Willie was rubbish. Like
he trusted twisted. He's really cool. He must have a good attitude or something, which he showed with his aggression and everything. He tried to seize the moment. So it's about, you asked about these other players in midfield. Would it undermine them? I say no, because they're young. And it's up to them to show the manager that he can be trusted to do that. So if the manager's got the decision to make, do I put Martinez in there or do I bring a youngster in? If your manager trusts them enough, then I imagine he's at the stage now where he would bring someone in based on what he's done with Garnacho, Kobe, and Willie last season, and the others as well, young players I'm not mentioning. But it's about trust.
I'd be disappointed. I think it's against the ethos of the club. Like, people like Rashford. I mean, did Rashford play against Midtjylland because someone else got injured in the warm-up, like another youth player?
Yeah, the one who was supposed to have been, they say better than Rashford, but obviously he wasn't. It's proved that he wasn't. But you've got to take your chance.
Well, that's the thing. You've got to be given your chance, because Pogba left in a hissy fit because Scholes re-signed again because we needed a midfielder. I think it's important that we have a very sort of foreseeable path to the first team. And I think for all these great midfielders we've got in the academy, if they sit there and see Bilbo Baggins getting put into the midfield, like after they've done everything possible to get in that squad and get there, I think it would be really, really annoying.
Okay. Guys, we're going to do one more transfer discussion, and then we're going to end the show with the versus battle. So all you guys, I mean, we've got Richard in the house. He goes way back. So it's going to be really exciting, like it was the other day. We're going to do a versus battle, player for player. Who's the best player? Who would you pick? And we started this. We get that feel now because Andrew's picked his top 5 defenders of all time. And there was a list that came out the other day of the top 100 players of all time. And it was really controversial because I don't know how you class it. Some names were really low down the list. Like Eusebio out of the 100 was maybe 50. I thought it was disgraceful. But anyway, Andrew's saying Beckenbauer, Maldini, Baresi, Sergio Ramos, interesting one, and Cafu, top 5, his top 5 defenders. And quickly, do you want to answer that, Mr. B? Do you agree with that list? Top 5 defenders of all time that you've seen?
You are asking the wrong person, boy. Okay, I'll tell you that straight. You're asking the wrong person.
Okay. Any Bath Time? Do you want to add to that? I know you said Maldini already.
Nesta, Costa Corta. I liked. One of my favourites is Sinisa Mihailovic.
Oh, really? Why?
I have a soft spot for Andy Hinchcliffe as well, who used to play for Everton.
Left-footed.
Why? Yeah, I used to look at how he took corners.
Okay.
Did he take penalties as well?
Yeah, he was a bit like And I think Irwin actually should also get a mention in a lot of these things. But like Mihailovic and Andy Hinchcliffe are two of the best left-footed set piece takers I've ever seen. Like they were extraordinary at manipulating a football. People will talk about Roberto Carlos, but look at Sinisa Mihailovic. It's the best free kick taker I think I've ever seen.
Dora's chiped in on that as well. I mean, yeah, he was fantastic. Go look at
she's woken.
Yeah, look at the free kicks he was scoring in Serie A for Lazio, and even when he was at Red Star Belgrade, they would have. Their team got broken up, but they were fantastic as well. He came to Italy sort of as a left back, ended up as centre back. Not the best defender, but his technical ability, that left foot was amazing. Free kick specialist again, says Dora as well. Here we go, top 5 fullbacks. We've got Maldini, Irwin, Ashley Cole, Lamb, and Carlos. Cellini gets a shout here from Bilal. And we've got hipster's choice would be Bramble. We have to sort of limit it down rather than all time. Maybe we can come on to more discussion from that. Let's talk about another all-time great defender.
Nice.
I love
it's Harry Maguire. It's Harry Maguire. Now, there's just a little story going around. While Harry Maguire is happy to hang in there at Man United again this season, despite the prospect of being 3rd or 4th choice centre-back next season, he has a big decision to make. What's that, you wonder? With England boss Gareth Southgate leaving the role after 8 years, Maguire is unlikely to be afforded the same kind of loyalty by an incoming manager, which means his England days could be numbered. Southgate stuck by Maguire, who's 31 now, even when he wasn't getting regular games at Man United last season. Although injury ruled him out of the Euros in Germany this summer, Maguire still played 5 England games during the season when he was only a stand-in centre-back for Man United. So with the emergence of Marco Gary and Konza at international level, Maguire's England days are under threat if he remains on the fringe at Old Trafford. And even if he moves and is playing regular first-team football, there's still no guarantee of a place in the new post-Southgate England era. So what should Maguire do? Remember last season, Mr. B, we were saying, look, just get rid of him. He's not going to play games, but he's hung around. He did hang around, and he got December Player of the Month because we had injuries. And it looks like he wants to stay again. So if you're Harry Maguire, be the angel or the devil, tell me the pros and cons of him hanging around at Man United.
There's no pros for Harry Maguire hanging around at Man United. We wanted him sold at the beginning of last season. He played the game by default because he was the only fit defender. I'm sure if it was down to Ten Hag, he probably would have played a lot less. Don't get me wrong, when he played in a certain way, he played okay. But okay is not good enough. I didn't think he's been good enough for the last couple of years. And that thing with, it depends how much he wants his England, but where does he want his England place over money? Because if he stays with us, he got another year on 190 grand a week. I mean, he could get, he could leave and still not get in the England team. And then he doesn't have the prestige of playing for Man United. He's right. Going to be playing for somewhere else. At the end of the day, he's going to be looking at what's going on. He may well be happy to be, 4th choice centre-back if United are, pushing in on the league and, we go far in cups. Then, yeah, he might want to be part of that. But if it's an England thing, the fact that Southgate isn't there, the new manager coming in ain't going to be, hopefully, wouldn't be picking players who aren't playing, which means then it does put pressure on him to find a club where, he's going to be playing regularly. That's definitely not a top 6. But then it depends because now, he's got a year left. People are talking about him staying. Well, they're not going to be offering him an extension. So does that mean that they're planning to let him leave on a free?
Okay. West Ham should give it another goal for Maguire. Different manager at the Hammers. What are you saying? If you're an advisor at half-time for Harry Maguire with the England situation and being 3rd, 4th choice, what would you be saying to him at 31 years old?
I don't know, Amonde, what to do with Maguire. First of all, I don't care about England, and I don't think that he should, at the moment. Playing for your national team should be a byproduct of your club form. So he should concentrate on winning a place at United, winning trophies, and playing well. I like Maguire as a player, and I think that he works a lot better in the system than people say. But it's very clear that Ten Hag is looking for a different type of centre-back that can do things that Harry can't, such as receiving the ball in like wide areas with his back to goal and all these other crazy things that Ten Hag gets up to. I just think that whenever the chips are down, Maguire kind of emerges. Like he's a good character. I don't think he causes too many problems.
Strong mentality.
Yeah, but the other thing is we say strong mentality, but if you've had the captaincy essentially stripped off you publicly, it makes me wonder like why he doesn't want to leave the club. I think that a divorce is coming at some point between Maguire and the club, and I suspect it will be next summer rather than this summer.
So still got a role at the club then this year then.
Yeah.
Even if he's third, fourth choice defender.
But look, with the injuries that we have and things like that, and remember that like even though we had an injury crisis, Varane was dropped for Maguire.
That's true.
Like, and he did. I mean, can you remember the last player to win a Player of the Month as a defender for Manchester United? Because Maguire did it last season and he played extremely well. And also, like, he's good at heading a football. And we keep getting people like that are questionable at clearing the lines with headers. So he's good to have. But if we can get money, yeah, that's it. If we get money for him, he'll go.
Big up to Richard. He's mentioned here, defender that I never saw play, but I know from my granddad and my dad that Tony Dunn was something special. So big shout out there. He's going more old time than me, Richard. Nick Mac saying here, problem is who wants to pay Harry's wages? That's going to be the difficulty moving on. He's done a lot of money, isn't he? I would sell Maguire in a heartbeat, says Simon. The own goal king should go. Nick Nack saying here, take a pay cut is his best bet, but clearly he doesn't want to do that. He wants to hang around. Send him to Accrington Stanley. Who are they? Says Weezer. Yeah.
But who wants to take a pay cut? Like, you're saying it as if Maguire is morally bankrupt for wanting a pay cut. Show me someone who like asks for a pay cut.
Agile Beast saying here is literally that old fridge in the basement or garage that you can't flog. David Sadler, another great defender from the past. Wow, Richard, I don't. How old are you, Richard? I would love to know.
You're not allowed to. Are you allowed to ask that? I suppose you are. Just whether he wants to answer you. To be fair,
I mean, he's naming some players like from way back. You know, Simon Warner saying here, West Ham should give it another go for Maguire. Different manager at the Hammers. Who is Moy?
Lopetegui.
Lopetegui's there now, isn't it? That's why he went and got Kilman.
Oh my days. Okay, Andrew Williams saying here, had a good season. I'm with Mr. Bean. He's not adaptable. Tyrone Williams saying here, Maguire has looked good in Southgate's defensive negative system. Can't believe he's still stealing a living at United. Simon saying here, I see Maguire play for Villa. Guys, I would sell Harry Maguire, but he's never complained, and I will applaud him when he leaves. That's from Richard. We've got Andrew saying here, Maguire hasn't complained. He leaked like FK. What's FK?
Oh, on Monday.
So innocent.
On Monday. Sometimes.
Are
you serious?
Is it swearing?
Yes, on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, I tell you. Sometimes your brain is so.
Tell me after the show. Simon want to say Maguire has warmed many benches last season. We've bet saying I want him gone. Worst captain for years, and we've had a few. Chat Sporters in the house. He's saying 250 grand he's on. He ain't going nowhere. Dora saying Maguire's leaked more than a broken pipe since holidays as well. So are we accusing Maguire being the one who's sort of spilling the beans in the past?
I always thought it was Henderson was the guy there they said was the leaker. Was it Maguire?
Okay. 66 years old. Pretty, oh my God, yeah. Very old. A lot older than me. And even just a little bit younger than Mr. B. But big up Richard. Yeah, you've seen a lot, so we appreciate the wisdom that comes with age, because Man United have changed a lot, and sometimes we talk a lot about the Premiership era, and me obviously I go back to the 80s and maybe the 70s, but we've got someone in the house who can go further back than that, which is great.
I wonder if he includes Carlos Tevez in that. Once you play in a red shirt, you're a hero forever.
Or Pete Schmeichel, didn't he go to City?
Yeah.
And how do you feel?
A bloody cartwheel.
Can I just throw something at you? Pete Schmeichel went City. It was, why would he go City? That's a disgrace. And people, I've heard that people say that, not picking out names or anything. But Andy Cole also played for City, didn't he? After he left,
Don't this is
the difference. Is that like no, we don't mind Schmeichel going and playing for City as they were then, which was a little club or something. It's how he acted, like when he was cartwheeling about, celebrating and stuff. Andy Cole scored a couple of goals. Great servant of the football club. Everyone loves him. No problems. Like Lampard went to play for City, scored against Arsenal. Scored against Chelsea, didn't make any fuss. And then we've got a treble winner spinning about like Anthony's wet dream, and it's not acceptable.
All right. Should we do the versus battle to wrap it up? We've got 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
What got?
We know how it goes, guys. So this is the versus battle. I'm going to throw up man versus man. Who's the best? Who wins in this fight? Who, if you had to pick one guy, who's it going to be? But not just throw a name out. Tell me why one wins over the other. That's all I want to know. So some of these guys going a few years ago, some of them are quite recent. We're going to start with a position where I felt similar. Midfielder, attacking midfielders, kind of striker. Before you answer, think about this, guys, because I'm putting 30 seconds. Let me get my clock up. I'm giving 30 seconds to Mr. B, 30 seconds to Bath Time to answer and give the best answer about why they're picking their man. And guys in the comments, let the guys finish first before you give your answer. And let's have a sort of check the comments after to see who we agree with, So I'm going to start with you, Bath Time, on this one.
Oh, okay.
You've got 30 seconds on this versus battle. And I want you to break it down and tell me why one is better than the other and who you would pick. And 30 seconds starts.
These better be from a Monday. It's before my time.
Really?
Yes.
But you must know a little something about them.
I know who they are, but I can't really tell you anything about them. And Whiteside obviously scored a winner in the FA Cup. And Brian McClare was a good striker. But I haven't seen them play. So I can't really tell you. This is why you've got to stop using older players. Because
we should know. This is what I'm saying. What happened to history lessons? We should know that Brian McClare, in Fergie year, he scored. He was scored.
Was he his first signing? Was he Fergie's first signing?
Yeah. But he scored a bag of goals when he first came his first season.
Leon Dublin was Ferguson's first signing.
Was it? No.
It's Viv Anderson, I think, and Brian.
Okay.
Yeah. But basically, they're both similar players because they played up front and they played dropped into midfield as well. So I thought Brian McClare came down from Scotland, scored loads of goals, and then he played in the midfield role. And he was a key player for our first championship in the early 90s as well. Norman Whiteside, youngest player to ever, I think, since Pele, or younger than Pele, at 17 years old, played in 1982 World Cup. And he was aggressive. He was tough. Obviously, he scored that great goal against Everton, the mighty Everton in '85. I mean, who's better? I mean, it's not as easy as you might think. So your 30 seconds is well up, Bath Time. Are you going to give me a name? Who do you think is better?
I don't know. All right.
The
faith before I was born.
All right, coming to an older man, a man with wisdom and experience, but can't remember what happened yesterday. Mr. B, 30 seconds on you.
I'm going to take Norman Whiteside.
Why?
Because of the goal that he scored, the left foot curler. The fact that he went on to be Ireland's youngest ever player for the. So I'm not going to say which island because I'm ignorant to that. Apologies. The youngest player at the World Cup. So I would go Norman Whiteside.
Any praise for McClare? Any praise?
Yeah, he did well, but Norman Whiteside is a player who sticks in my head as a player who did a lot for me. I'm not saying that Brian McClare didn't, but he went under my radar. So I'll go Norman Whiteside.
Right, so 2 for Norman Whiteside. Andrew Williams saying Whiteside for a short period. We've got McClare any day, longer career and better players as we deserve better. Before my time, but in terms of history, there's no way Chalky McClare was better than Whiteside. I would go for Whiteside, remember him playing to Simon Warner. Bath Time, clearly not in his 40s or 50s then.
Yes.
Bilal saying here, before my time, I'll go with McClare because he's off his head. We've got Nick Nack saying McClare was the McTominay of the 80s. Not necessarily. McClare, only because I've heard of him, says Dora, and scored 18 goals, in the 1991-92 season, McClare did. He's the first player to score, McClare, first player with 29 goals since Best. It's the first player to score over 20 goals since Best. That's what it was.
It sounds like it's McClare from the comments, to be honest.
You reckon? I think it's mixed.
I think that like Whiteside obviously had the moment, didn't he? And he's probably I suspect he came to the youth academy and he's someone that like people connected with. But over the course of the career, from what you've said, what Mr. B said, what the comments are saying, sounds to me that like Brian McClare was probably the better player who had better service to United.
Okay. Want to say hi to Helga. Said, evening, guys. Sorry I'm late. Psyched for the Wan-Bissaka Dumfries deal to be swapped. He wants that to happen. Richard saying here, it's all good in the hood and sweet on the street. Lyrics. The United agenda is where we meet. It rhymes. Okay, I need to wrap this. It's all good in the hood.
No, you don't on Monday.
No, you don't on Monday.
United agenda is where we meet. Don't worry, guys, if we don't agree. The United badge will set you free. What bars? Bars.
You've got a 66-year-old ghostwriter now on Monday.
Big up Richard. In 1987-88, McClare scored 24 goals in the league. You know, it came down as a striker, then adapted, and dropped into midfield for us. I would go McClare as well. It's not for the knees, Whiteside. Yeah. And there we go. Yes, Tyrone. All right, we're ready for the second part.
Let's go.
This is part 2. Yeah, Mr. B. Mr. B, remember, better than Drake. Thank you. Mr. B, 30 seconds. All right, break this down. Tell me who's the better player. And it might not be, you might think it's obvious straight away, but break it down. International appearances, performances, levels, you know, where they play, position. How much of a legend are they? Who's the better player? 30 seconds starts now.
Let me pull one. Paul Parker and Wes Brown.
Yes. Paul Parker versus Wes Brown. 30 seconds. Start now. Break it down.
Oh.
Say something.
I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go Paul Parker. As much as I think he's so miserable and he's so anti-Man United when he talks about us now, I would go Paul Parker. I think he was from the little bits, the little teeny-weeny bits that I remember, and obviously as time goes on, he was a proper right back. So I'll go Paul Parker. I have nothing against Wes Brown, but my preference is Paul Parker.
So you're logging that one in. You're not gonna,
No, I've got nothing to say about Wes Brown. Wes Brown was just there. He was always in the shadow of other players. Paul Parker was out there on his own.
Does it mean anything that Wes Brown played in the Champions League final, winning the Champions League final?
Yes, it does.
It did yesterday. So bath time, 30 seconds.
Wes Brown, like treble winner.
Explain.
He won the treble, which is like probably the second finest achievement from the club after the FA Cup, after the Champions League in the late 60s. So I can't look beyond Wes Brown for this. He was an academy graduate. He struggled with nerves, was sick before every match.
Is that true?
Yes, like he threw up for every match. Like I read an interview with him once. I love Wes Brown. I think he's a great player. Paul Parker, I think, has mudded his legacy a little bit by being the most miserable man like ever. And I didn't get to see a lot of him compared to what I saw with Wes Brown, but it's got to be Wes Brown for me.
I thought that year we won the treble. Oh no, not Brown. Sorry, not the treble. But when we won the Champions League against Chelsea that season, he was the main right back, I believe. He had a few injuries, didn't he, Wes Brown? But who's a better player? They both can play centre back. Remember, Paul Parker was 5'5", and he was playing centre back for QPR.
I'm not even a 5'5" centre back. I don't care how good he is, bro.
And we talk about Martinez, isn't it? Playing about him, but he was.
Yeah, he's still 2 inches taller. 5'5" is my height. I ain't playing that centre back.
But you're not Paul Parker.
Yeah, but there's only he can only jump so high.
He could jump like a kipper. Trust me, he was
a kipper.
A sardine, sorry.
Salmon.
Do you mean a salmon?
Salmon.
Sardine! Did I say sardine? Oh, good. I was adamant. No, a sardine. All right, let's see what the comments are saying. This is Wes Brown versus Paul Parker. We've got Paul Parker from Andrew Williams. Obviously, Norman Whiteside's Northern Irish, so he's obviously British. Paul Parker easily says Tyrone as well. Nick Nat saying Paul Parker all day long. Brown good on his day, but Parker was ultra consistent, says Andrew Williams. Wes Brown, because I've seen him play, says Bilal. We've got, have to agree with Parker. Wes Brown was a utility squad player, says Dora. Weedzo Bet says we've got to be Paul Parker. Wes Brown did well, but Paul Parker was a great player at the time when black players had it tough. Brown didn't contribute to the treble. Yeah, we read that one. Mind you, Wes Brown had 23 caps for England. Paul Parker only had 19. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Paul Parker is less miserable than me, says Andrew Williams. Brown played well in, I don't know, you finished that one, mainly because of Rob Jones, presumably. No, I don't think Rob Jones was always injured, wasn't he? Brown contributed in 2008 and helped us beat Chelsea. He was brilliant that season, but in 99 he was used as a sub.
He got us 2 Champions Leagues. He's got 2 Champions League winners medals.
Yeah, but I'm talking about players, like as a player.
Yeah, but I can't look.
Parker came in with banned from Europe.
Yeah, I still can't look beyond it because we've only got 3 Champions Leagues, and Wes Brown has been in the squad for 2 of them. That's kind of my argument right there.
Fair enough.
So anybody who won the Champions League for us, anybody who was part of that treble winning league, there's going to be nobody in your eyes better than them.
Basically, yeah, because those are the memories that I have with like my father and my family and the people around me, and they have produced those memories. So I'm always going to be incredibly biased towards the treble team and the 2008 team and so on.
Just
right,
for consistency.
Monday. So at least next time, don't get no treble winners up.
Yes, exactly.
Don't get no Champions League. Yeah.
And only get players from after 1996, please.
Right, and just for consistency, bath time. Who's better out of Hinchcliffe, the guy you mentioned earlier, left back with a beautiful left foot, and Toure from Liverpool, won Champions League in 2005.
Oh, Hinchcliffe, because me and my whole village would gather around to watch videos of him taking corners. So it was a shared experience.
All right. So Champions League means nothing then now. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Last one, guys. This one's a bit tougher. I think it's a good comparison based on the positions they played for Manchester United. I'm going to start with you again, Mr. B. You got 30 seconds starting now. Who's better? Who wins?
Oh shit!
You got 30 seconds, man. Silence doesn't help.
Ashley.
We talked about the players.
Oh,
Give us a summary of the players, position they played.
Valencia right winger.
All that kind of thing.
Came from Wigan. He was very right-footed.
I'll give you a minute, by the way.
He was very, very right-footed. Ashley Young, captain. They were both bloody captains. Ashley Young's gone on. You know, he went on to Inter Milan. Did he win the league at Inter Milan?
Yes.
Yeah, he won the league at Inter Milan. Players who leave Man United don't normally go on to win a league. He's still playing at 39. But have you seen what Antonio Valencia looks like now? Jesus Christ, he's like this. He's got bigger guns than Stefan. I'm gonna go
tough, innit, this one.
Shit.
So you said, just summarize again, both captains. What about their positions? They started
right back. Well, right. He started at right back for Wigan, didn't he?
No, he was a winger.
No, winger, and then went right back for us.
They were
Valencia
both wingers
didn't finish at yeah, okay, so they're both older. Oh God, I'm gonna take Ashley Young.
Okay.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Are you banking that one? Are you logging that one in?
Yeah. I don't think there's much in that one. There's not much in that one for me, but I'm gonna go Ashley Young.
Okay. Bath time, over to you. I'm giving you a minute, but just break it down in detail about both players and who you're going to pick at the end of it. So give us a summary. Over to you.
So
1 minute starts now.
Valencia came in essentially as the replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo. He started off as a right winger, and as the mismanagement of the club continued, he was eventually put in as a right back by Ferguson. Not too dissimilar to Ashley Young, who came as a left winger from Aston Villa, very flary player, and eventually became a right-footed left back. I would go. I think both of them actually captained the club at various stages, with Ashley Young as club captain for a while. I think I have to go for Ashley Young. I think that he's a great example of like fitness and work rate and going from a sort of a whippet-like winger into a fullback that is still playing in the Premier League. So I can't look beyond Ashley for this one.
So 2 going for the Ashley Young. I think it's close though. I think they've got so much similarities going there. I would go for, if you talk about who's got better delivery,
Young.
Who's quicker?
Young.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. Who's the better defender?
I think Young.
Young, yeah, I would have gone with
He
Young.
he won a league in Italy as a defender. Like you've got to be a decent defender to do that, surely.
Okay, but you're not being snide towards Valencia.
No, I like Valencia. He does great work in Ecuador. He's built an entire village. He's still a massive Manchester United fan. He was a good player, and I liked him as a footballer. But I think that with Ashley Young, you're looking at someone who's on the verge of becoming a Premier League legend. Okay.
Let's go through the comments, see what the comments said. So Mr. B said Ashley Young. Bath Time said Ashley Young. They gave their reasons. Young for sure says double A. We've got Valencia from Bilal. We've got Young from Nick Nack. Dora is saying here Valencia as right back for Van Gaal was one of the best in his position that season. Does that mean you're going for Valencia, Dora? Are you saying Valencia's better than Ashley Young? Ashley Young, model professional, played his heart out, socks off, still going strong. Does that mean you're going for Ashley Young? Or are you just giving us a summary of but Ashley Young was overall better player. Okay, there we go. So Dora's gone with Ashley Young. We've got Vidal saying Young, good curves, but like Antonio. That doesn't read well, does it? Tyrone's saying here, I have to say Ashley Young because I hated Valencia, never used his left foot. Decent player, quite basic. Young says Simon Warner, Young in my book. We've got Retro saying Valencia, too shy for 7, gave his all at 25, right back. Goal against Everton for Valencia, still iconic. I don't remember that. We've got, did anyone else prefer Raphael to Valencia? Right back. I prefer Valencia. I'm giving it to Valencia, but I love Ashley. That's from Richard. Dora saying that Ashley Young goals against Arsenal in the 8-2 was world class as well. Was he playing right back then, or he must be playing up top? Young had free kicks in his artillery, but Valencia was club and country captain, which is good. Valencia wore number 7, says Dora. That's correct. Both were captain at one stage of their career, says Richard. Valencia for me, says Andrew Williams. Valencia because he's choked Sterling. I don't remember that. Does anyone remember that? I don't know.
No.
Still,
Young did put Angel Di Maria into the crowd, didn't he?
Okay.
He absolutely battered him on the sideline.
And that was Young. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
So they're equal on that, I think.
Is this true that he still couldn't speak English after 15 years? Then why was he captain? Why was he captain? Antonio was more of a talented player than Ashley.
I don't agree with that. Do you? Ashley Young as a left winger.
It's tight. I think it's tight. I think one thing about Valencia, he could push and go down the right and whip and cross.
Yeah,
that was his thing. Jockey, push and go. Old school, Steve Coppell style. You know, he get banked on his pace to get past players. And it's
right. If you one in their prime now, like as an attacking player, which one are you going for?
Oh God,
I think I'm talking about all round. You're talking about specifically as an attacking player. When Young was,
that's what they were both signed for, as attacking players.
It's tough. This is what I'm saying. I think this is a tough one. I would just about go for Valencia. I think he's stronger. He's more, you know what you're going to get with him. Bread and butter, consistent. He's, get down that line, whipping crosses, strong runner. I'd just go for him. But I love Young. He had great delivery, great shot on him as well.
Yeah, more to his game.
Weak.
Valencia was effective, I think, is the thing, but he was one-noted. I do like Antonio Valencia. I think I think he was a very, very good player in the end, and he came in with a huge amount of pressure on him, like coming from Wigan to replace Ronaldo, ridiculous stuff. But Young was one of the best attacking footballers, like in the Premier League when we signed him, and he did really well for us. And then he did more by going to left back, helping the team out, and he's still going in his career. Like, he's going to be the oldest outfield player in the Premier League. I can't look beyond Ashley Young.
Wow. Big up Andy Herbert. He's saying big up lads. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, bro. He's saying Mr. B got to grow. Okay, a grow on the go. It's actually real plants. Richard saying here, Sir Alex Ferguson played Antonio on the right wing and he could ping a ball. Tyron saying here, Young and Valencia have a lot in common. None of them are up there with Giggs, Cancelo, and Sharp as well. The versus battle, that was it. Free today. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed the show. What have we got on for tomorrow, guys?
We're gonna do a Rangers preview tomorrow.
Rangers
played them last week.
Not Rangers. Oh, see what I mean. Oh, see my memory. We'll do an Arsenal. We'll do an Arsenal preview tomorrow, and we'll do the rest of whoever we're going to be signing. So we'll mix it up, but we will definitely have an Arsenal preview in there. See if we can get a solo 11 up.
And guys, don't forget. I mean, the season's starting soon. In no time, we've got Community Shield, Charity Shield, whatever you call it these days, against Man City. That's going to be awesome. Can we do them again? And make sure you come and tell your friends about the Man United agenda. Let's get the numbers up. Let's make sure this season's special for this channel. You know, we love you guys being so loyal to us and supporting us all these years, you know, but let's make this season a special one. Get behind the Man United agenda. Tell your friends, even if you can just share it on your social medias or whatever, and, you know, just big us up. And hopefully we can get this channel, get to the big numbers. You know, we're just here. We enjoy it, but obviously we want to sort of get some more numbers as well to help with the growth of the channel. Because we're you know, Man United have got so many great channels out there, Stretford Paddock and all these big time channels. We're dwarfed by them, but slowly we can build up our reputation. So for all the volunteering that we do to set up this channel, we appreciate every one of you for all the help and support that you give us. Thank you so much. This season is going to be big. All right. Happy holidays, bath time, says we deserve better.
Thank you.
Any last words, bath time? Before you
yes, thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. You idiot.
Have a lovely time, bath time on holiday. Obviously,
enjoy your holiday, man.
We're going to miss you, and we're going to miss bumping heads with you. We're going to miss your sense of humour. But you deserve a break.
It's 2 weeks a Monday.
I know, but you deserve a break. You do a lot of work behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know about as well. So we appreciate you having you as part of the family, one of the brothers. Okay, guys, we're going to sign out now. Thank you, Agile Beast. We love you too. Thanks for having us in the chat. We try. What other channel incorporates a chat like we do with you guys? No doubt about it. Can't find a Twitter link for you guys, or I would shout you out. Can we change that?
It's at the MU agenda.
Okay.
I think I have it here. There you go. It's at the bottom.
It's in the comments, is it?
No, it's at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, it's at the bottom of the screen. See it there running along? Yeah. At the Man United MU agenda. That's us on Twitter. Twitter's massive. We should start promoting more when we get more staff on board. But thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
You're laughing at what I'm laughing at.
More staff on board, yeah?
Yeah. If we had a staff that would focus on doing our social media stuff, we're all old. We're not really down with that sort of thing. But if we had more staff,
speak for yourself for one day. Bath time's not 40 yet, so you can't classify him as old.
Please stop bringing up people from the 70s in versus battles and so on.
All right, I'll make it more up to date. But yeah, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks again for joining in, and have a good evening, good night, and happy holidays, Bath time.